Hey, Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve cast channel where it's all Juve all the time. And we are going to cover a great victory, but we suffered a massive, massive blow. And I can already see it here. Chiesa, disaster. Fede Chiesa sidelined for the rest of the season. Irreparable loss. We are going to definitely get into that. And again, Lardo right here. What a win. Gutted for Chiesa. Loss for club and country. That is obviously the big news. Everybody was hoping deep down it was just a knee sprain, but I think we all kind of knew I was prepared for this based on his reactions and everything. And I know Anthony was as well. Anthony's no stranger. He's not called the knee guy for nothing. So he's no stranger to these types of things. And he kind of prepared us for that as well. So we got Lex and Ant. We're going to cover this match. The match itself was one of the wildest ones I've seen in quite some time. Absolutely crazy.
And one of the best in recent memory. It's hard to, you're on such a high after that, and then especially me with the Steelers and the Raiders winning. It was a great day, but knowing deep down that that injury kind of. You're looking for a silver lining, but it's going to be a long road for that young man, and hopefully he comes back better and stronger later this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So 4-3 victory over Roma. We are going to go over the highlights, go through the moments. We'll talk on all the touching points, including kind of the events leading up to this Chiesa situation, and then what happened afterwards. Okay. Uncle Sharma, fellow content creator, they're sad to hear about Chiesa as an Interista as well, and wishing him a speedy recovery.
We homage Freddie Church today.
And in support of Mr. Church there, here we go.
Striped Hearts Apparel.
Yes,
shameless
our
plug.
Sponsor, of course. Give him a shout out, show some love. Check him out, stripedheartsapparel.com. Guys, we had Mirko Di Natale also yesterday live, and we talked about not only the Mercado we're currently in, because we don't expect a whole lot, but even outside of that, more looking towards the summer. It was a great episode. Mirko's always, he never disappoints. He took all our live viewers' questions, most of them anyways. The ones he didn't get into, I've already discussed with him. We're going to get some written pieces up on those and cover them for you, okay? But now things kind of change. And this is something that we also talk about with Mirko all the time. Things can change like that. Now, all of a sudden, players that he talked about that were, not untouchable, McKennie, Kulishevsky, and Artur, now all of a sudden things change with Chiesa going down.
Not that.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden things change, and we might be in a scenario where we are looking for possibly a loan coming in for the rest of the season, because it's going to be a long road out for Chiesa. But not only that,
are we?
Exactly. And we're going to get to that. But let's get to the match. Let's get to all this.
Why not? Lex, what do you think? Should we get to happy stuff? Let's get to happy stuff. Why not?
Let's get to good things like the first
we
goal.
Have to wait for a little bit to get to the happy stuff there. It's going to be something else. But let's kick it off. It wasn't so happy to start. Okay. Yeah. So Roma comes out, guns blazing, okay? And this was just a matter of time, this goal from Abraham at the start, because it was corner after corner, and you're just like, guys, like, snap out of it. Wake up. Let's get some control. Abraham
feel it coming.
This one, heads it in. They take the 1-0 lead. Okay,
hang on. Right there. On that one there, was that, were they trying to do zone marking there? Because Rugani was way behind his man.
Benta and Rugani are the two that were closest to him, and neither one of them got up even close enough to disrupt his header. This was probably as close to a free header as you can get on a corner kick. So, unfortunately. Fast forward a little bit ahead, and DeScilio makes a great little run and pulls this midfielder down with him that allows Chiesa to cut in. And then from there, I don't know what exactly happened here, but this is not the man to leave in this range with this kind of space. So Dybala does what
Can we
Dybala
just
can.
sorry, can we just hold on this one here? Look how many guys are concerned about Chiesa.
Yeah. So
I knew we were going to get to this one, and I know DeShila is making that run, but
he pulls
we're going to
one guy
miss
in,
that.
and you have
Yeah.
2 here and another one coming in to cut off that.
Mhm.
They just don't want him cutting in on his own, and that's beautiful. That's exactly what you need. Who's going to do that now? Well, we'll talk. We'll talk
We'll
about
get to
that
that.
a little later. So Dybala, not the man to leave there, and he punishes them with a beautiful left foot curler that Rui Patricio couldn't even get close to. We'll carry on, and this closes out the second half and goes off Abraham's knee again. Another scramble. We just looked so suspect on any set pieces, corners, and just they were getting to everything in the air, it seemed. So
Yeah, we were all
struggles there
6s
from
and 7s
Juventus.
back there. It
What's
was
that?
crazy. We were all 6s and 7s back there. That's a
Yeah.
British term.
Yeah. So halftime, coming out of the half, obviously Chiesa had exited. Kulishevsky came in at the 32nd mark. And in the first half, I needed much more out of Moise Kean. And Kulishevsky did not do a whole bunch with his kind of 15 minutes from coming on, and needed to see a bit better out of those guys. I still, again, something we've talked about a lot. I need to see how we're using our 9. Like, what is like Keane just, I don't know. I looked at it at the end of the half. He had 6 touches, 100% pass accuracy. He may as well not even touch the ball, in my opinion, because I didn't even see him whatsoever.
I think 4 of those touches were down near like our 18-yard box. He was coming way down to collect.
Yeah.
I was like, is he? I didn't quite know what was going on there.
I don't know.
But
Yeah, he's
to
playing way
quickly,
too low.
yeah, to touch on Kulishevsky, do you still give him a pass for having to come in with the late, like sort of a quick change? You're not quite ready, or are we at the point now where he's done this a number of times and it should be like, hey man, you should be ready to go?
He gets a pass from me for those 15 minutes, but second half, like, let's get going, maybe stay out a little bit or come out of the tunnel a little bit earlier and get more touches in, because his touch was kind of like suspect too. And just, he gets a pass for the first 15, but let's get it together. Second half. And this is just unlucky. I mean,
What are you gonna do?
And some people are saying, well, DeShilio can't turn sideways with the Bonucci style of defending and whatnot. But I mean, this is just flat out unlucky. I mean, he gets a huge chunk of it. It literally just bloops over Tech. He's not even moving because there's nothing you can do on that. And it goes in. And I'm like, this is just our luck, like
Tech's in the right spot too. Like, he's not too far out.
Just,
he's in a good spot. It's just it hit the player right, and it did that crazy bloop. And these things happen.
Yeah,
they happen.
So, and really, if you look in terms of the play, even leading up to this and whatnot, there was nothing really out of the norm other than a turnover. Again, turnovers kind of hurt us and cause problems for us. Again, why do we have quite a few turnovers in matches? I still see systematic issues, right? But let's carry on. Here we have an absolutely worldy free kick from a suspect. Foul can be said.
Lex has some serious concerns about that free
puts
kick
this
call.
thing inch perfect, though. Hell of a free kick, I'll say that. But Lex, how do you feel about this?
I was just watching it, like, of course. Like, we just had a free kick on their end, and then which hits the wall, as most of our free kicks have been doing lately, the past year or so. And then it just turns over, counterattack. And of course, right after we get a set piece, we concede one. And then it had to be a perfect hit. And I'm like sitting there, it's 3-1 now. We kind of a unlucky deflection goal and then a perfectly set up free kick. And I'm just like, well, we're 3-1 down now. It was unlucky. It felt like unlucky.
But did you really feel? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna ask you guys about the foul. Did you really like? I don't know. I was kind of like, that's kind of soft, Like, I don't know. I had a bit of a problem with it, but ultimately, I was like, it is what it is. He puts this free kick, and I'm like,
the issue
Ridiculous.
Delict had an issue because Delict thought he was fouled before he made the foul.
Yeah,
So he thought he was fouled to give up the ball, and then I believe he fouled Abraham.
which
or
I
Abram.
also don't. I think the whole thing should have just been play on. To be honest, I don't think Delict had a foul on him. I don't think
Right.
he necessarily did anything that was out of the norm. I just saw play on, but I was a little bit choked. It got whistled down again. He had to
Hell of
put
a free kick, though.
deadly free kick,
beautiful.
which he did. So credit to him. At this point, I had to say earmuffs to the kids and let a few unpleasantries fly. Just brutal.
Okay,
And then I just sat there.
At this point here, our resident Mr. Negativity, Daniel Lucci, was like, this thing is over. I said, well, all we need is one. All we need is one. This game never felt out of hand. If this was Inter, it's over. If this was Napoli, this game is over. But, Roma...
It just got a bad feel when, Keane, Kulusevski, they're not really cutting it. Chiesa had to leave. Dybala seemed to be into it. But again, who else is going to help? And then, you get this 3-1. And then enter in the 63rd, Artur for Bentancur and Morata for Keane. All of a sudden, things change immediately. Locatelli
7 minutes
is allowed to move up the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Morata makes
great move to lose his man.
Ibanez look silly.
Yeah, he did well there.
And McKennie's free back post, they split them up. In the end, neither one of them picks up Locatelli. Boom. Okay. 3-2. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. I didn't sell you this one too hard, but I was like, okay, let's go. We can make something happen here.
I did. I knew the game was over. Once they scored that, I knew it was over.
And then pop. Cuadrado. Morata does well. I was like, oh, come on. Cuts it in off the chest. Have a hit. It's blocked. Oh, no. But Kulusevski, if he's going to do one thing right in this match, let it be this. Boom. I'm losing it. Scare the hell out of the children, okay?
Yep.
Had to apologize to them, but then my daughter started laughing because she loved my Sally. So there you go.
Never apologize.
Okay.
Never
3-3. Let's go. And
so
then...
going back to that last one with the offside look, I thought the offside was being looked at the first pass from, I think
it was right here that it was being looked at. Yeah.
Again, it was Locatelli to Juan, right? So again in the goal. I thought it was that first pass, but apparently it was the second one. This one here.
It was this one, yeah. Now, don't you ever interrupt the Lord, okay? Because Lord De Sciglio, so awfully played by Smalling, must be said. De Sciglio puts himself in good position to pounce on it, and that he does, and here you go. Live look at my living room, me and the girls, because I'm losing it. I'm jumping up. I'm screaming. Unreal. 4-3 out of nowhere. Fino alla fine in all of us was absolutely tested. Then it's not done. We're not done. Oh, man. So this
that's a handball.
Yeah, it is. As you see the replay, it's like clear as day. It's like, yeah, you got to call it. PK coming. And then Tech. Let's go. And then just the sellies after it. Okay. My God. 4-3. Get me out of here. Take the 3 points and let's just focus on
the bus.
Chiesa, fingers crossed, whatnot. But this was unbelievable, this win. This was big. This was a big one. But again, we have to talk about everything now and dissect it because this win literally doesn't mean anything if we don't follow it up. That's my only thing that I said is we have to follow this up. And now we'll get into all the good, all the bad, but how do we follow this up best moving forward? Okay. And guys, let's kick it off with Man of the Match, brought to everybody by Striped Hearts Apparel. Let's start there and then start breaking things down a bit here. So Man of the Match for Anthony.
You're going to start with the old guy, eh?
Yeah.
We had the spaces after the game, and I initially went with Tech. And the reasoning was, okay, he had the bloop goal, the free kick, no chance on that one, the free header, penalty shot save. I thought if that penalty shot goes in, the game's over. I thought Roma was going to score again. They had all the momentum after that. But it's hard. It's hard not. I know who you're going to give it to, so I'm going to pick somebody else. I'm going to go with DeCilio. I think he had a good game in the first half. The way he scored that goal can't be over or understated. When he took it off his chest, you could tell that ball was going in because that's the kind of mentality that we need Morata to have in the box. He had one goal, laser focus, ball down, back of the net. I'm giving it to DeCilio for yesterday.
There you
Hell
go,
of a finish.
DeCilio. Lex, man of the match.
That's a good shout. Yeah, I mean, can't deny his goal was important. And I think I'm going to have to go with Locatelli, I think, just because of his involvement, his goal and his assist. Well, kind of like not really assist, but he sent that ball in to Cuadrado, which I thought was a beautiful pass. Like, he also had some other moments in the game where just pinging these beautiful through balls, and it's just something that we haven't seen in our midfield in a long time. So that was really nice to see. And the way he was able to get up the field and join the attack after, especially when Arthur came on. I know that we'll probably touch on that later. But yeah, that's why I'll probably have to go with Locatelli.
Locatelli.
I knew it.
So before I give mine, we have a fellow Roma fan who's a fan of our channels and our work, and that's Chris.
Hey, there he is.
So, yeah, it's been a rough one. Chris just making his comments as we go through the highlights. Anyone on the planet with a 3-1 lead at home,
it's true.
It should be over.
Yep.
It's true. I gave him a set of ears because I let him vent as we played some FIFA after the Juve Roma match, and he took it out on me in one of those matches. I will say that. Okay, so you got to pump me at least in one of them, but old Alberto won the war. Okay, you won that battle, but I won the war in that series. But Chris, always a good sport. Showing love to the content. We tried to get him on the spaces, but he said to me after it was too soon. It's too much emotions, and hey, I understand. I get it.
Well played.
My man of the match, I think. Yeah, it's hard not to give it to Loca. I think DeCilio was a close second for me. I'd have to give it to one of those two guys. Loca's influence after moving up the pitch with Artur, you just couldn't deny it. Morata is a good shout too because he was massive when he stepped in. And I might actually go with Morata just to change it up, just to show some love to all three of these guys. Loca, DeCilio, Morata. Fantastic. That's what you need out of the subs. And
well, hang on, just to kind of add to fuel to your fire there. So Morata had the misfire on Kulusevski's goal. He assisted Locatelli's goal, and he's the one who passed it to. He kind of held the ball, won it for McKennie, who flipped it over to DeCilio. So yeah, he's in on all three. That's a good shout.
Oh yeah, Morata. I think I'd probably needs to get in there on that shout, especially for a half hour's work, right? Less than that, he was fantastic. That's what we need out of him. That's the Morata we need. Again, a lot of concerns based on the news of him wanting that exit and whatnot. What Morata would we see and whatnot? This is the Morata we need. And then now, of course, Chiesa being out of there. Yeah. Everybody's going to be crucial. So, we just, again, what did we see, though? Now we can kind of recap the match. And, I feel, and I've said this for a while, this team needs to empty the clip, so to speak, in terms of if they're going to get goals and they're going to put teams under and cause problems. What we saw was exactly that. Try and play it safe. You try to have all this balance and overthink it and complicate things with Rabiot and Benta. Like Rabiot and Benta, we've known for a while. You cannot have the two of them sharing the pitch, right? Artur was a guy a lot of us said when he comes in, he needs to come back and take over that holding role so we can use Locatelli in a manner that gets him further up the pitch to assist in helping create opportunities and creating goals. He can even score some himself. we saw the best of what can happen if we do that. And McKennie adds an offensive element to it as well, right? So this is where we're at. I think that shout for this midfield, can Allegri do this? And this was the whole talk because Landucci pulled the right strings at the right time, making those subs. It's 3-1 down. Okay, we're going to do this. Credit where it's due. He pulled the right strings. Allegri. Now everybody's big question is Allegri going to carry this through? Your guys' thoughts now.
Well,
Lex,
I mean, I was happy with like the Landucci shouts. I thought that was funny, like Landucci and like all that stuff. But I think though we can't forget that at times the head coach, especially when they're not going to be on the bench and someone else is taking over, they'll set a pre-planned substitutions, right, as a part of their game plan. So I mean, he definitely pulled them at the right time, right? But I think like it's not out of the question that Allegri had that as a part of the plan. Like that's who he wanted to come in for those players, right? And so I think that definitely I think Allegri still had a role in this match. And I'm a critic of Allegri often, but I just wanted to point that out because I think that that's true too.
Yeah.
Now let's not act.
It's not going to be a Landucci and Allegri out discussion. That's not it whatsoever. The thing is,
let's not act like these were like world-shattering substitutions. They were straightforward substitutions.
But the thing was the intent. I think again, your substitutions kind of they add that spark. They add that element. They see what you're trying to do and whatnot. These were the right ones. The other thing is too, obviously when De Ligt goes out, he gets a red, and he's out, and Chiellini comes in and whatnot. Does a different substitute happen at 4-3 if Allegri's in? Do you know what I mean? Like, just you start thinking about things, and or even at 3-3, do we go into a protection mode? Do we still push through for that 4-3 like we did under Landucci? It's just those little questions that it makes you think, right? But Landucci's subs were spot on. He did a fantastic job. Moving forward, in your opinion, you two, it can't be denied that that's got to be a midfield go-to right now is Locatelli sliding further up. I don't think we can deny it. I think he does. And again, you see his importance all around in his game. But what's more important to this team? Even before the injury to Chiesa, I would say probably getting him more involved forward, right? Now, it has to be. It has to be. Thoughts?
Lex, I know you're champing at the bit to get to this one. Go ahead.
Oh, no, it's okay. Do you want to go ahead?
Okay. We've all been asking for, okay, Al, you've been adamant on it's got to be Luka and Bentancur. He's the guys.
If you're in a two-man pivot.
Right.
Is 4-3-3 better for us?
Do you want me to answer the question, or do you just want to answer the question for me?
Well, let's go. Where are you going?
I could just turn my chair right around if you want. And Arthur showed that game completely changed when Arthur and Locatelli were beside each other. Completely changed. Now, is it the opponent? Is it the there's a unwritten like the thing with momentum and how the game changes. Like you can't quantify that, but that game changed when Arthur stepped on the pitch beside Locatelli, because then Locatelli's game changed. So that setup has to be tried from the start. Now I know Lucci's going to be like, oh, it's only 25 minutes, and he is absolutely livid right now because he's Mr. Negativity. But it has to be tried. You have to try it now. You have nothing to lose. I would say why not try it with in the Supercoppa on Wednesday.
I agree. I think can't deny the 3 goals in 7 minutes, and that's what we've been having problems with, creating goals, creating chances, and it seems like having Arthur take care of that more holding mid role and allowing Locatelli to be unleashed and get up the pitch. Like you said, I think we can't deny that. And in terms of I guess they did come off the bench and it was only like a 30-minute stretch, but it was a really good 30-minute stretch. The most convincing I've seen from our midfield in a while. So that's why I would go with it. Like you said, try it from the start.
Now, do you think the inter midfield is just going to overrun that? Al?
We're going to get to
No,
the
okay.
Supercoppa.
Am I muted?
We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
Sorry.
Look, 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1.
Mm-hmm. I
What's
think we
your
all
preference?
agree with that.
Lex, and 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3?
Wow, man. Well, Freddie's gone. It's
That's
hard.
what I was gonna say. With Chiesa out,
I'm sticking with the 4-2-3-1. You bring Sule in. You let try and let Kulu cook out there or something with Bernadeschi on the other side. I think you got to roll with the 4-2-3-1.
I'm starting to see where Omer was going, and Omer's whining for some credit in there because he talked about a 4-3-3 with Loka, Artur, and
Eat another
McKinney
avocado.
there. So relax, Omer. I got you, buddy.
Calm
So
down.
yeah, I mean, honestly, this nonsense about Dybala not being able to play the 4-3-3, it is exactly that. It's nonsense because if he's on the wing where Cuadrado pushes up the most, that just slots him in centrally. And for the most part of yesterday, what happened, even on his 1-1 goal, that was a 4-3-3. And you see Dybala slotting in centrally. Keane pushed the defenders back. He filled the space in behind. We got lucky that they jumped on trying to stop Chiesa from cutting inside. This can work in a 4-3-3. That midfield can't be denied. We need to go with it. The fears are that the classic Allegri line about if you want entertainment, go to the circus. He might have seen that game as an absolute circus and not want anything to do with it.
It's true.
We might have to empty the clip, though, if we want to get goals as a group. And that kind of showed me that yesterday, is that we kind of have to go all out and empty the clip, because if we're trying to keep too much balance, we lose too much. We know the guys. We know their abilities. Max knows their abilities now and what we need to do moving forward and what you're going to get out of every guy. To put Bentancur and Rabiot out there at the same time and then ask for goals out of your midfield, I've been saying this for weeks. That's just mind-blowing to me, and it ain't going to happen. So, yeah, there we go.
Naveen,
And,
we'll get to this one, buddy, at the end. We'll get to this question.
Yes. We kind of highlighted that a bit. So, yeah, now you guys want to talk about the Supercoppa and whatnot.
Do we?
Chiesa's injury, I think we'll get to first. Obviously, he's out. You'll have Cuadrado out, and you'll have De Ligt out for the Supercoppa. Now, I was just the messenger yesterday, putting a tweet out saying, hey, these guys are out for Supercoppa. And everybody's like, no, it just is Serie A. No, it carries to Supercoppa. Ridiculous as it may seem, those are the rules. Now, it could work the other way too, because if some people don't view the Supercoppa as anything special. For me, it's still a trophy. It's still big for a team that's in transition. But the biggest thing is Serie A, right? So right now, we're in a dogfight for position. And would you rather have them miss that, or, and I know the next game's only against Udinese, but it's that little bit of preference, personal, that you have and whatnot. This intermatch is going to be tough. The Supercoppa is going to be tough. That's question.
Understatement.
We're missing some key guys. Danilo might be back, which helps. That would help cover for Cuadrado. But still, you'll lose a big chunk out of offensively what you're going to get out of Quad. But Danilo will do a good job. You can trust Danilo. Pellegrini will be back. But Deschilio might be the guy. We'll talk about all these guys as well.
This is the question. How many games does De Ligt miss? Now, to your point, it actually works in our favor because now Juan only misses the one game that's not a league game. So it kind of works out. But I'm not sure if the 2 yellows is 2 games or 1. I think it's just 1.
It's just 1.
Is it just the 1? So then he's back for next week. So De Ligt's back for Udinese.
Yeah, why would it be anything more?
Because it's a red card. I don't know if red cards carry automatic 2-game suspension.
I think it's just 1. Whether you get it in yellows or you get it as a red, it's just 1.
Can someone in the bleachers check that for us, please? Because we don't want to sound like complete morons.
It's
just so we know.
It's just 1.
Al, you know, I trust you sometimes, but this one I don't.
Just
someone
one.
can Google it for us.
Just one.
That's Lou. I can't
This
trust
is
Lou.
like 5 people. It's one. Give it up. It's over, man. It's over, Rock. It's over. So we're gonna get.
Okay, it's just one. Sorry, Lex.
Just one.
You're just sitting there looking at these two idiots.
We've got some questions coming in about Inter. Who's the players to fear and whatnot? I think more it's just the way they play, their system and whatnot.
Relax.
We still don't really know
Relax.
ourselves. Would you guys agree with that statement, Lex? In terms of fearing any individual players from Inter, more fearing just the team and the fact that they are a unit and we are still trying to kind of figure ourselves out. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would go with more fearing the unit. They're a well-oiled machine. I think that they're clinical. They're a strong team to play against. So I think that's what I would fear, especially because we're missing some of our key pieces.
Okay. It's one. Fuck. Okay. It's one game. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
And are
appreciate
you done, man? Give it up. It's
Sorry,
over.
Lex. Sorry to interrupt there.
No, it's okay.
You got to play DeVinter. He's got to come in, right? You got to bring the kids in. You got to put Sule on the bench. I hate to ask another question because then everyone's going to jump on me in the chats. Bunch of jackals.
Death Clutch has a great point and a great name, might add. My God. Inter, no players injured or even COVID.
Give it time.
So, yeah.
COVID just jumps up and bites you right on the ass.
They're going to be full. So, and we need to remember that we're not technically out of the woods just yet from the Zelensky encounter. So things could still creep up from that whole ugly scenario. And Yeli actually today tested positive as well. That still kind of, I'm weary of that, and maybe some potential cases still creeping up there. But
what are the chances that this guy's in a heavy metal band? That's the name of his heavy metal band. Has to be.
I love heavy metal, so yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I like
sweet
everything.
name, man.
Okay,
should we call our question period at the end of the show Death Clutch?
Well, we can't steal the name.
He didn't trademark it.
You don't know that.
Let us know if you trademarked that name, bud, because that.
Now, okay, Quadrado. Quadrado. Too many C's. Chiesa. What's the best plan of attack in trying to get the best out of this team without Chiesa?
Lex, start us off on that one.
Oh, man. I mean, it's really unfortunate that we're missing him. I'm still sticking by the 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. I think we've got Kulusevski, Berna that can step in. I think you can push Quadrado up to play more of a winger attacking role. But there's no denying that this is a huge loss for our team, for the Azzurri. And Chiesa is just not only just what he does on the pitch, but he's such an inspiring player to watch that I think so many of our fans quickly fell in love with him and his gameplay and things he does on the field. Yeah, I got the Freddie Church shirt. I've got his home jersey on the way, and it's devastating, man. It really sucks. It's a news no one wanted to hear, but I mean,
yeah.
So the good news is, if there's any sort of good news to this, because an ACL injury absolutely stinks. We've played games without Freddie. We've played a lot of games without him. Now we have to play a lot more without him, right? You're right, but it's not like we haven't played without him. So I'm not even sure where I want to go with that. Now we're forced to long term look for those options. Is it Sule, Al? You're high in the kid
that will probably come up and take a bench spot. I agree. In terms of, there was a question here about how does our Mercado kind of change? Does it change? It, again, would be the same in terms of what Juve would be able to do, which is loan deals. That's basically it. In terms of changing the transfer window plan, it would just be still loan deals that we're looking for. Very, very hard to make any moves at this time. So this is what we were talking about with the U23s. It's exactly what you need out of that system. And if you have a kid who's impressed since the preseason, okay, in Sule, this is the time to do it. So he comes up, he takes that bench role, and he gives us some minutes here and there. My biggest concern is not, in the Mercado or looking out that way. My biggest concern is this is yet another moment for Kulishevsky to kind of answer the toll and start to show us something, right? Because again, we talked about it earlier when Mirko Di Natale was on here live yesterday. He talked about the guys that weren't untouchable in our tour, Kulishevsky, McKennie. We need these guys now big time with Chiesa, because McKennie can give you that offensive threat out of the middle. Artur shows that he can cover to allow Locatelli to move further up. And we're trying to replace even more goals now. We were trying to replace CR's goals, with Chiesa. Now we don't have Chiesa. You're just adding more contributions, whether they're assists or whatnot, that we need to fill.
We got DeShilio. He can do it.
Get Sule in there. We don't need to look too far. And let's go. Now there's a comment in there, Sule can't play as a left winger. But Kulishevsky can, and so can Bernardeschi. So again, it's just we don't need to overthink this by any means. We just need the guys that need to be the guys stepping up during this time to do exactly that. We can't have Keane going through a match invisible. Morata needs to do what he did as a sub from the start of matches. Okay, he needs to have that tenacity, that fire, that drive.
And that kind of shows a player that Morata is. He's a second option striker.
Yeah, and
right? That's how he plays when he comes off the bench.
Made yesterday. He's your sub. He's your guy that comes off the bench and just carries it on that way. But we're gonna need more, because to us he needs to be the top guy at least for the next 6 months, right? So we need that. But I'm starting to get on board with the 4-3-3. But the biggest thing it showed us is that we have to empty that clip. We have to play foot on the throttle if we want to give teams problems. Would you guys agree with that?
100%.
Yeah. And if we're going to be scared about leaking, put them in the death clutch. Put the opponents in the death clutch. Let's go. Now we got some questions coming in. I don't think we're not far off from our Storm the Barn segment. We're not very far off.
Now, I do have a segment. Remember, I discussed a segment with you. You didn't even answer it, but I think I might just do it. It's it has a pretty clever name. It is the we have players' contracts ending in June. Would you re-sign them? Yes or no?
Let's do it. And kick it off with Lex and everybody live. Obviously, you guys are going to like this. It's our contract renewals. Let's go with it.
I like to come up with fun names for games and they're actually pretty straightforward, so that some of our audience who can't keep up, like Lou and mainly the all Juve cast team, they can't keep up with names. I like to make them nice and simple. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to put. So we have a couple players coming out of contract June 30th, 2022. The obvious ones that are going to be re-signed, they're obvious. So Chiesa is one of them. That's obviously going to be a closed deal. Do you sign, yes or no, this player to an extended contract? Matthias Perin. Yes or no?
Yes, if he wants to stay. He wants to leave, though.
I don't care what he wants. Do you want him to stay?
Yeah. Solid option as too.
Well, that's a hell no there. No, that's not the name of the game, Cliff. It's not deal or no deal. I don't have a germ. I'm not afraid of germs like Howie Mandel is.
Stop it, Lex.
Lex, go.
I agree. Yes.
See, perfect. Lord DeShilio himself, Lex.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
That is an interesting one. I mean, it's hard when they play really well so recently, and then it's like, this season
question.
It's been doing better.
Just answer the questions. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Oh
man. Al already has his. It's reloaded.
I'm actually reading the comments and just trying to keep track here.
He's got to prove himself more. I'm going to go with
30th.
no.
June 30th. He's
no?
not putting pen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with no.
Come on, Al. That's an easy one. You serious? Are you serious?
Hey, the fact that it's actually like creating some thoughts is a credit to DeCilio himself.
By the way, this is the name of Death Clutch's second album. No Money, Say Yes. That's their second album title.
Ah, man. I think
what are the people saying here? Look at this.
He's not a problem. He's not a problem,
Boom.
so I would say yes.
Boom.
He's not a problem.
Luca, hit the DJ booth, buddy.
Do you want my answer or what? I just gave it. Let's move on.
I think 100 people cry about Sandro. How can you not sign the kid? How can you not sign him?
I just said DeCilio's not a problem, and he's cheap. Yeah, sure.
You want to know something? You're being a little bit of a problem today. Okay, Juan Cuadrado.
That's true.
Did he already sign his extension? No, he didn't.
No.
Okay.
I'm saying yes.
Cuadrado? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
How many years? How many years?
1, preferably.
2.
Lex? What year was he born? So he's 33 years old. You
1 or 2. 1 or 2.
I think it's hard. You got maybe one in an option. We'll split the difference. One in an option. Bernadeschi.
Yes.
Yes.
How many years? He is 27, right in the prime.
If it's cheap, I don't care how many years.
like 3 million, 2.5.
Oh yeah, 3 million. Sure, 3 year.
I'll go with that one.
That pretty much ends this game. Except there is one. Do you think is there anything that Morata can do to change your mind to say we need to renegotiate with Atletico to get the 35 million down?
Not a damn
for
thing
another year. You want to keep him for another year on an option?
Not a damn thing that guy can do. He could go lights out right now for the rest of the year. I would say no.
Really?
We need alternatives, and he is not mentally cut for what we need. And the reason is because of yesterday. I haven't seen that out of Morata consistently enough to make me want to invest in him further beyond this season.
Al didn't get a lot of sleep
because
so
I love
he's
the
angry.
guy. I love the guy, but not enough.
Lex, come on. Help me out.
Oh, man. See, I like Morata. I do like Morata, but I don't know. It depends. It would depend. Like, I mean, the price is just too much right now.
If you can renegotiate it, though. I changed the parameters of the game. If you can get that 35 million down to 20. 20 million. Alan.
I'll go with a maybe. I mean, we still need to pick up someone else for sure. We still need our main
100%.
guy.
He's your second striker.
Guy,
he has to be your second striker.
No. I'm going with maybe. I like Morata.
This
do.
Guy.
I know.
Right there. Yeah, I got the pick one right there. Who likes this guy? This guy.
What's going to happen? I'll tell you. Here we go. Let's the imaginary crystal ball here. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. You sign Morata, even if it's at 17 million, 20 million, and then next season, he's all happy. Oh, yeah, I got my contract. I'm staying at Juve. Then all of a sudden,
white guy's dancing.
Oh, man, I got in an argument with my wife, and I'm all sad and mopey, and now I'm going to play like dog shit for the rest of the season because we had a little argument. He is not with it up here. He's got to go. Sorry.
Have you seen how happy that family is? There is no way that's happening. There's no way.
Hey, man.
They're a happy family, 3 kids, beautiful family.
If we had a situation, I agree with some of these people in the live chat, okay? Some of these guys saying that if there was a way that Morata could stay on a cheap and be your second guy, sure, we would think about it. But if the money that he's making, and let's just talk about this like logically, the chances of Atletico dropping down pretty slim. They might drop down a bit. It's still in that range, right? So in that range, other players you have, one are Scamacca, okay? And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because even Scamacca at that money, Scamacca becomes wiping you away from any chance you have at going after Vlahovic. And Mirko painted that picture crystal clear. He said it's one or the other. They either try to make an all-in move to go after a guy like Vlahovic, or your alternative is the guy that they're hot on, which is Scamacca. Would you take Scamacca instead? Lex, Ant?
Go ahead, Ant.
I'm not answering this one first. No chance. No chance.
Scamacca instead of who? Instead of
Morata.
Vlahovic or Morata?
Jeez.
This is tough.
For the same amount of money.
Hey, these are the questions we ask here in our live. They're ruthless. They hold nothing back. Look, that's the only questions they ask us, Lex.
You're saying for essentially the same amount of money. I have to compare a guy who's won Champions League to a guy who's had one good half season.
Death Clutch wastes no time. 35 million, I go for Scama.
Yeah, whoever this Death Clutch is, please come back. Please join us again, whoever you are.
Got to be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, please hit the like button. It's that little thumb.
Also, everybody, if you're tuning into this, obviously on the audio outlets, get over to YouTube where all the fun takes place in the live chat. Subscribe to the channel, okay? And everybody who's here, take the 2 seconds, hit that like button, please. Okay, it makes a big difference. It means a lot. Thanks for the support. And share the content, okay? Now, Lex, you're not getting away.
No, you go first. I got my answer, but go ahead.
Morata.
Do it. Answer it now. Answer it. Answer it.
Oh, man. It's so tough because one's like on a good run.
Quit sandbagging and answer the question.
Oh man, I can't. I don't know. I mean,
there's no wrong answer. There's just your answer.
That's true. Well, we'll take him. I'll agree with Juan from the chat.
Take who?
Scamacca. We'll take him.
Scamacca. There you go.
So here's the thing. Here's why
Anthony,
I partially agree.
To answer the question now?
Yes, massive Morata fan, as you can see in the background there. You know, the number 9. Now, the way this team is being constructed, the smart thing to do would be to go with a younger striker. That's the smart move. For the same amount of money, you can play around with his contract. There's no like loan deal. I think the right move is to take Scamacca, but
I love Lewis is absolutely mudded our teammate Luca there. So
we're all teammates.
Brilliant.
We all you want to know something, Luca? How about you just mind your business? This is why we bag on Luca. It's for comments like this. You want to know something? Stop your nonsense. Go have a sandwich.
Go have a Snickers.
The smart move is Scamacca. I'd agree with that. Now, my heart says to keep Morata, but the way both players are playing, that's the way to go. I wouldn't do 35 million for the kid, though. I would do 20. I'm not doing 40 million for Scamacca, who's had one good half season, all these neck tattoos. Even though there's nothing wrong with neck tattoos, but I don't really trust it.
Hey.
Too many neck tattoos.
Take it easy. Ricardo coming in here. Guys, Ricardo from Melbourne, Australia. Big shout out to you guys. Question, what do you think of Raspadori instead of Scamacca or Vlahovic? Well, Lex is a big Raspadori fan. So, Lex, would you go that
I do
route?
like Raspadori over Scamacca. I mean, these are tough questions, guys. I mean,
Raspadori is like 5'5".
Yeah.
Death Clutch is just my spirit animal today because Scama's salary is even low compared to Morata. This Death Clutch, I'm telling you. Just
please come
quickly
back.
Climbing the ranks, you went up a few pegs, puts you at 1. Lex.
Well,
Raspadori?
I do like Raspadori. I do like him. I mean, but I don't know, Scamacca.
Gun to your head, you had to pick one of the two.
I'm still going with Scamacca. Even though I love Raspadori, I do. Although Raspadori does have this old photo in an Inter kit, so I'm afraid we may lose him to them. But
I'm kind of with you.
That's
Scamacca,
what makes me.
I think just the profile. I think it's that profile that we need.
I agree.
Yeah, and a guy that's kind of mean, kind of has some issues. Where that's okay too, and just big physical guy. Yeah, and he's actually better technically than most people give him credit for, Scamacca. So
And
I'm
he's
fine with
young.
that. And you know what? We might
very
all
young.
have to get used to those tattoos and everything, because Juve is hot on Scamacca, and Mirko just said like they are. Yeah, it's a hot track for Scamacca, and look for that in the summer. Now, we're gonna storm the barn. Time to storm the barn.
It's what we do best.
Everybody in the live, this is the time to drop your questions, and we're gonna do the answers as quick as we can off the gut. And I got in trouble for trying to explain one, so no explanations is what I've been told. We just answer. Lex, get ready.
All right, I'm ready.
So
get those questions in.
Martial or Alvarez was one that came in earlier. Just to give some clarity, because Mirko did answer in terms of Alvarez, he is not a serious target for Juve. They are interested, but he's got more interest out of Italy from Inter and Milan. There was a meeting for Juve with Alvarez, but he is not one of their higher priorities. Martial, it's very, very cold. And again, these are deals we wouldn't like. But out of these two players, who would you take just for shits and giggles? Martial or Alvarez? For me, it's easy, Alvarez.
Alvarez.
Yeah, younger. Those South Americans are always like, you never know what you're going to get when those kids come over. You'd have to go with Alvarez. There's way too much hype on this kid not to take him.
Joe's been hyping him up, so
big time.
Yeah, and that's what worries me about the player. Is that Joey Cappuccino is starting to hype him. So it's like, maybe I'm wrong, because I was liking him too. So
I didn't want to say it, but this was my question.
Yeah. There was a different question before. We'll let some more questions come in for Storm the Barn, but there was one earlier on from Dells, and that was, what do you think Keane's ceiling is based on what we've seen over the last 3-4 years?
I think he's already at the ceiling. He's kind of like crunched in there. He's kind of
I don't think there's... Yeah.
He's at it.
We can get more out of that. I think I'm starting to see that he's that supplemental guy, right? Whereas if you put him on a wing, he can kind of assist and help out, maybe better in a two-man partnership. But to be the lead guy, could he get to being a lead guy in, say, 3 years? Let's put the question that way. Do you think he can ever be a lead 9?
No.
We have to remember he's still really young.
24. Anyways.
Yeah.
You just don't see any progression. I haven't seen any growth from like the last time he was here. You can make some excuses. Okay, he was in England, he was in Spain, he was playing on certain teams, he was this and that.
He's 21 years old.
Is he 21?
Do you think he could get to a point of being a lead 9? No? So
I don't see it.
No.
I don't
Lex?
see it.
It's hard to answer because he's so young, right? I mean, for what I see right now, I agree with you, Al, in terms of being more of like a supplementary player. I mean, but he has a lot of room to grow and improve because he's so young. So, I mean, could prove me wrong. Oh, that's a good point.
I am.
It's a really good point.
But I don't know. Like, it's a weird one with Keane. Like, again, I think right now, like, being a sub, like, he looked great last season playing off the wing with an actual lead, right?
It's true.
I think if you're trying to get him as a lead right now, it's too soon, right? But
for sure,
I don't know. It's a weird one, and he was banging him in his first day with us towards the end.
He's not really a back to goal striker though. He's more of a want to run at the defenders type of striker.
And that's why I see him as a supplemental kind of guy, right? Not your prototypical lead, but yeah, it's a weird one with Keane. Storm the Barn, guys. Get your questions in. We have one ready to go, and it's
fired up.
Free agent.
No,
this summer. He's 29. Would you guys be intrigued? Anthony?
You do not want any part of this player. I have behind the scenes information about this tool. You do not want any piece of Isco anywhere near your locker room. You do not want it.
Okay, you can't throw that out here. and not
You don't. I'll tell you. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later. You don't want this guy on your team. He's just a head case. He's a prima donna. You don't want it.
Okay, I trust you. I'll say no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And I
pretty
actually don't
convincing.
anyways. I would have said no.
Yeah.
Like the time has passed.
Don't
I
want
agree.
it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super, super curious now.
Maybe back in the day, like 1997.
Yeah, the time has passed. The team.
Don't
Look at
want it.
this. Everybody's gonna be on it now. Wait, what? What? Yeah.
Can't do it.
Can't disclose, but yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Maybe we pose while everybody kind of gets. Oh, here's a question: is Anth a Rovella guy? Oh,
Okay,
no,
Clifford?
we know he's not a Rovella guy.
Okay, Clifford. Let's just get something straight here. I am not clearing the air on the Rovella Hive. I'm going to save that for later. Move on. Next question.
Oh, jeez.
He's a great player. He's a great player for Genoa. Wonderful young talent for Genoa. I hope he has a great
Hazard,
stays
question
great year.
mark.
Like, what are we talking about here? Like,
No from me. No.
isn't the idea to get younger? I think that's the idea, right? Like, Sule's the guy, De Winter's the guy, Pellegrini's the guy. Those the tools now that we need to start taking out of the bag.
Yeah, I
Look at
kind of
this.
agree there. Kind of agree there.
You don't even remember 1997.
Rovella
I was winning
Hive.
trophies in 97.
Supercoppa.
Hmm.
Here's a question. Are we winning?
No.
Anthony, this is the
No.
first loss I've ever seen you call.
Oh, we can still draw and win in penalty shots, but we're not going to on the score sheet, on the official score sheet.
Oh, here we go.
A game in penalty shots is goes down in the history books as a draw. I don't see it. There's too many injuries. I think we need to be more focused on Serie A. And I know trophies are good to get. I think the team will take it serious. I think Allegri is going to try and get the team locked in for it. But, jeez, give me another day. Maybe I'll join the pregame and then I'll have a different attitude.
Yeah,
the whole Chiesa thing is fogging me up, man.
Lex, are we going to win? Are we going to win the Supercoppa?
I mean,
what did I do?
You raise good points, Anthony. We are depleted, but I mean, I'm gonna go for yes, just because I think we're coming hot off the Roma win.
Good for you.
Get some faith in the team, I guess. Maybe blind faith or something, like hoping, reaching first.
Oh man, Lewis is
welcome.
on fuego today. He's on fuego today.
Unbelievable.
Love this one. Tony predicting a loss. Congrats to Juve on the Supercoppa. I think I agree with Anthony what he's saying with Allegri and taking it serious. Absolutely. A trophy's a trophy at the end of the day, and it's all about winning them and getting them. We're going to go all out. Will it be enough again? It's the nervousness you feel because you're facing a side that has an identity, that understands themselves, that knows one another, that has chemistry. And we're not there, and we understand that, and we know that. There's building blocks there, and that's what I talked about this match yesterday. I talked about it in several prior to that. The building blocks are there. It's how we follow up and how we use the guys we do have. So I find it funny yesterday, prime example of everybody that was saying these players simply aren't good enough. That's not the case. How you play your players, in what roles you ask them to do, it all paints a bigger picture, and it's how you see teams with far less talent succeed and do well, and give teams that have these expensive salary counts trouble, is because they have a system. They use their players properly and whatnot. Yesterday, we got a good glimpse of what this team can actually do offensively. A team that we're just not good enough. We're not going to score all these goals. Nonsense. We can do it. You have to put the players that are capable in the proper positions. Do we still have issues with the roster? Yes. Nobody can deny that. And now with Chiesa out, eyes are going to be on Berna and Kulu, guys like that. Much bigger. Dybala. Dybala, his ability cannot be questioned anymore for me. People have to stop with that. But he absolutely needs to stay in the lineup now. If he goes down, we're in trouble.
Big trouble.
So he's got to stay in the lineup. And it just, I've seen enough. I've seen enough from these guys to know that what we're capable of is far more than what we're getting.
And no one's coming in January, kids.
Yes. Get ready for no changes. Sule in. Sule Hive can become alive now and a thing for all those young guys there. But wrap Paulo and I don't care what you do. Just make sure he can play in the matches. Yeah. That's what we need. But we just we've got to use these guys properly. It's big. Supercoppa. I understand the nervousness. I'm always gonna say my team will get the job done. And maybe
do you play the ball on? Do you play the ball on Wednesday?
I would love nothing more than us to play like dog shit and still steal it. That would just be glorious because losing to Inter is never acceptable, never okay. There's a question for you guys. Storm the Barn. Rest Dybala for Supercoppa. Yes or no?
Yes.
Lex.
He comes in the 63rd minute, the master sub, 63rd minute.
Yeah, I could see him bring him on later. I mean, I
do you start him?
Watch Dybala play.
You don't see him start though?
I would start him, but I mean, I think there's a case for resting him, for sure. But given now that Chiesa's out, and given the rest of our month of January, but I'm still going with starting him because that's my guy. But
I start him. He bags a hat trick. We seal the game. We take him out early.
I like that idea.
Oh yeah,
easy as
bacon. Good ideas. The only ones I have. What other questions so we've got some interesting stuff coming up here. So actually, in terms of Dybala too, there was so much little outside stuff through this game against Roma yesterday. Arriva Bene had some words actually mentioned about the Dybala contract scenario. Dells didn't get the contacts. I saw what he said in terms of he kind of tied it to all players and the renewal and whatnot. And what kind of struck a nerve, I guess, would have been saying that, he has to prove himself as well, in terms of Dybala, and just as everybody does for any type of renewal or extension and whatnot. And it's kind of a weird one when you look in the context of you have to separate previous management and the new management. Because yes, the moves previous management would have done, it would be like hearing a shock to say this guy hasn't earned an extension based on some of those other guys that you did extend. Factoring in that it's now new management, he's fine in saying that, in my personal opinion, because he's right. Because they're just there now. And in terms of his eyes, he sees him in needing to be available much more frequently and whatnot. And I guess that's what they see as earning it. What do you guys think in terms of what Arriva Bene said in terms of Paulo Dybala and the situation?
Go ahead, Anthony. You go first.
No, I'm pointing at you. You go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, I think it was, he had the right to say that. I mean, also Dybala went out and scored and after those comments. So, kind of fulfilling, not, I guess, maybe didn't completely do it with one goal, like prove it himself completely. But I mean, you can see right there, he's asked these players, I want you to step up, prove yourself for your contract extension. He went out and scored. And I just want to say, I like Arriva Bene. I don't know if anyone's also a Formula One fan here, but he was managing at Ferrari, did a really good job there when he was there. So I'm okay with him saying that. I think he'll be good.
So he's not an X's and O's guy, right? He's a CEO. He oversees the whole, the whole ship. So I wouldn't take this as a shot to Dybala. I'll take
No.
this as a comment to all players, that all players need to earn it. This is
Yeah.
he's always, all of his comments have always been the ship's going this way, and in order for people to stay on, they need to perform. They need to be on the same page. So I just look at it more of, if he performs, he'll get paid, and if he wants that money, that's he has to perform, and as all players have to perform. I think he's been given, I think, hopefully like a clean slate to say, to move players in and out. I know there's a whole bunch of people that make those decisions, but to get the books right, to keep the books right. I know they're right this year and next year, but you have to keep the books right. And that's on him to do. So good on him.
Yeah, I have no issues. I think Lewis puts it quite well here in this, that Arriva Bene is setting the standard, saying the standard is the standard for all, including talents like Paulo. And he said similar about De Ligt before the break. So he's an old school guy. We knew that coming in, and he is all about like the names don't matter. And that's the part that I like the most, right? It is about the team. And I love that. KM. Muriel dreams of joining Juventus. As soon as I saw Monblano, I just stopped there. Yeah, unfortunately, Monblano, and Hanin knows. He knows. Yeah,
I know we're getting short on time, Al, but I do have a quick question for you.
Fire away.
Has Rugani done? Here, let me do this. Has Rugani done anything yesterday to make you think, maybe he should stick around for a little bit longer, get some more playing time?
No.
Okay, let me go back over here then.
Correct.
Yeah, still not enough. Like, I think that it just definitely needs to prove himself more if we're talking about that. But the 95th minute clearance in the box, I don't know if you guys saw that clip there.
While he was on his knees.
Poked the ball away. I mean.
Yeah. He was going down like Hextall trying to make a pad save. It's like, I don't know what you're doing down there, bud. But okay.
Ant, what do you think?
He's 3 for 3, Ben. Like, he's been playing good. I know everyone wants to drag out the ghost from his previous year's closets, but he's been playing okay and he's your fourth option. And he's playing okay.
Okay, but again,
let's see how he does on Wednesday.
3 for 3.
With De Ligt beside
that header goal against Abraham was not good marking from a center.
Right.
And that's a striker, and of all guys to leave clear, not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
The 95th clearance, that's great. Why was he on his knees?
Great question.
It's great. And the Hextall, I do appreciate the Hextall reference. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Billy Ranford might have been my go-to, but Hextall was up there too. That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. It's not enough for me. It really isn't. The thing is, somebody mentioned he's on lockdown for at least another season, 2023. So it's cheap. It is what it is, but we still need to look for beyond Chiellini and whatnot. Yeah, but
okay,
still fantastic win yesterday. We even got to see Chiellini in a head bandage, and that's when you knew it was over for Roma.
Life is good.
Once that guy throws the Band-Aid on the head, you guys are done. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, fantastic win. Had a lot of fun today. Games like that are huge for teams that are in a transition. Again, we see more building blocks. We see more of what we're capable of. It's up to the team to put the rest together and do it consistently. Will we do it? We got to all wait and find out. We get some bad news today with Chiesa. Again, let's see how the guys that are there pull through and get it together. So, yes, now we have a big blow to the Azzurri as well as they get ready to face the playoffs to try and make that World Cup. So, big blow. Wishing Chiesa the best during his road to recovery. Okay.
Godspeed, young man.
Godspeed, my man. And hopefully he gets back to terrorizing defenses sooner rather than later. But some bad news. But where do you think Juventus finishes the season to finish off? Are we still where we stand in our predictions? I think, Ant, you and I finished off around third, potentially even second. You still stand behind that?
Well, we did say first We got a little crazy there for a minute. Originally, yeah. I'm sticking with third. Yeah.
Yeah, Lex?
We're right there. We are right there.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with third, yeah. I had third for the second half of the season.
Yeah. There's a lot of Juventini that kind of took a lot of negative stuff out of the match yesterday because of the struggles, the flat start and all this, which is normal. But, man, those comebacks, that Fino alla fine, like that feeling, that was a steal. We absolutely stole that one. And if you can't build off this one, you just don't have a ticker. So the players have to build off this one. So let's go and let's see it. And hopefully we can take those snakes down midweek. So let's see what happens. Of course, you know where to be on Wednesday, come Supercoppa match day, right here for the match day live. We'll get you ready for it. We'll get you pumped up, and hopefully we can take that trophy. Thanks, everybody, for the support. Okay, love you all. Take the time, like the video. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Lex. Thank you, Anthony. Absolute pleasure. Thanks, everybody in the live chat. Until next time, Fino alla fine, Forza Juventus, and continue to enjoy that beautiful, beautiful victory that will definitely be in the memory banks for quite some time. Ciao tutti.